So, Nahi, next question for you is what kinds of changes do clients tend to notice early on when they're working with you?
So early on, the first things people tend to notice is they're a little bit more on top of their work, a little bit more clear on their priorities. They start getting a little bit more space in their day. And so instead of running around reactively all day, they get to be a little bit more proactive, a little bit more intentional. The stress goes down about that much. And then they start noticing that their interactions with people are better. So, everyone at work, at home, leaders, team, just every interaction has just a little bit more effectiveness to it. And you're feeling a little bit less reactive. And all of those add up over time. And what you find is that over time, you get triggered less and less and less. And then that just increases, it sort of builds on itself over time.
Do you remember the old commercials that used to, like, it was a credit card commercial and it says, this costs this costs this much, and then the third item was priceless? That kind of transformation in a person's life is priceless.
I think so. I think so. I mean, I've noticed it in my own growth curve, right? So, of course, if you are a coach, you should either have a coach or you should be working on your own personal growth because you cannot take clients any further than you're willing to go yourself in your own self-awareness. So of course, my whole life has been a journey of self-discovery and self-awareness. And so throughout that journey, I've experienced those little changes over and over and over. And you're right, they are priceless because every day you can feel that much more on top of things, that much more fulfilled and clear in every conversation or interaction that you have with somebody, that much more happy throughout the day, that much less stress, less anxious. That it's subtle stuff, but it builds up and it builds into this experience of your life, of your work, of your day that, gosh, decades ago I'd be pining for this.
Well, it's amazing. I've witnessed it myself, and I will just put in a plug that Nahid has a wealth of knowledge in this area because she's done the work herself before the clients, almost kind of like, you put on the oxygen mask first before you help others. And you've done that. So thank you for sharing your wisdom with us who are a little bit further behind.
Well, that's so funny that you say that. And I'm so glad that you said that because a lot of the times that's the way I'm thinking about it. And I had a group client the other day. So I run a group program. And one of the clients in the group said to me, "Thank you so much for continuing on this journey yourself and bringing us along with you." Because as we may talk about later in the interview, this last year I've devoted to learning this new process called RIM, and I'm still fairly new at it. I've done it a year now, but I'm going to be working in the master's program there to master it. And I've been practicing on some of my group clients, and it's a new level. It's a new, deeper level, but I'm taking myself on that journey before I'm really opening it up to clients because once I've gone on it, it's a better experience for clients, I would say. And you're right about the oxygen mask. We have to put it on ourselves. I don't think you can really provide something genuine to someone when it comes to this type of work unless you have had that experience before, or at least a lot of similar experience.
Yeah, I've often thought, like with parenting, for example, you can't pass on to your children something that you do not have.
As a parent, and this is kind of heartbreaking to many of us who are parents, we can't grow our kids past our own level of growth. And so unfortunately, all of our kids are going to have our good stuff, but they're also going to have the stuff that we weren't able to resolve before we have them. And most of us have kids early enough, so we're going to have stuff we haven't resolved before that. But you know what? I don't know that that's a bad thing because I don't think that we can grow unless we have a few hard things to go through. I don't think we can build character unless we've got had some things in our life as children that have been tough for us to work through that we have to resolve later.
That makes a lot of sense. So, an analogy I love to think in analogies, but you think about a tree. As it's growing, is good for that small tree to be exposed to the wind and the rain and the hardship, because through that its roots grow deeper. So when it becomes a huge tree, when there's winds and rains, it won't topple over. But if you protect that tree when it's little from all of those external hardships, it won't have the deep roots to sustain and to stand strong when those storms of life come, right? Same with we need those trials to be able to learn how to respond in the face of adversity, right? So excellent lessons, excellent lessons. Yeah.